Hello there, Merxerain here, and we're already on episode 8 of Enigmatica 6 Expert Series. In the last episode, you can see behind me, we made this new fancy tree farm. It runs off of an Etho hopper clock, so this is about every 3.5 minutes. It will send a tick here, and if this is turned on, which it wasn't, this is an AND gate. It would say if this is powered, and this side is powered, the key is both of them at the same time, we will send a signal over here. This signal will then wirelessly go to the receiver, meaning we are going to move this setup at some point. And when the receiver gets the signal, this will power on, and it will go around the track, cut the trees down, and send it through the pipe. Why did we have to do this? Well, it turned out we couldn't make the very specific... Oh, we just heard it go off. Here it goes to cut down our tree. There go out the items. You'll notice it didn't send any logs through. I'm going to actually shut this off. The reason why is because we've actually built up on logs. Our drawer, which I'll show in a second, is full. But again, the reason why we had to do this was the normal thing you would do in Create is use a portable storage interface. However, this requires polished wood planks from Eidolon, and that requires you to have blood magic, and we're just not there yet. We will certainly get to the magic mods, however, that is a goal for a future episode. So, just to recap, right, we have pipes running into our fancy little storage section here. We have 3 stacks of these saplings. We've got 32 stacks we're full of the spruce logs, and we have 3 stacks of sticks. I will be making some void upgrades or something for these at some point. I don't think I'll do void upgrades on this, but these two will probably get them. So today, we are going to pull these logs out of this system here and pipe them into a redstone furnace. So let's go make that redstone furnace. And I actually have everything I need on me. So I really love this crafting calculator. It's like the best for planning workout, right? So if I want to make just a single redstone furnace and I tell it to check my inventory, oh man, I have everything required already. So let's go ahead and make it. So actually, I forgot that I had already made it. It was actually sitting in my inventory. And so when when you have this button, it actually tells me, oh, you already have one of these, so you're done. It wasn't that I had everything ready. I had just already made it ahead of time. So the plan here is we're going to put this down somewhere and pipe all of the logs into it so that we can make charcoal. We could easily have this upstairs, but I'm kind of thinking we put it in a basement. I have cut a little hole here, and I tried to record a time lapse. So if the time lapse came out all right, I am going to put it right here. Alright, so time lapses, yes or no? Please let me know in the comments, because If you guys did like that, I mean, this one was very basic. It's the first time I've ever done one, just digging out a rectangle in my basement. However, I could use this in the future for building contraptions. I could use it for building my buildings itself. The first thing that comes to my mind is finishing off my roof. The second thing is, right, I'm going to need to make a kelp farm. It's going to be a very similar mechanism to the tree farm, so I could easily do that with a time lapse and save you some time, but let you actually still see the building process. So please, let me know in the comments. Something else I want to point out, I had mentioned in the previous episode that I was having some performance problems with the game, and I wasn't sure if it was the game because of the update, or if it had something to do with my computer itself. I've actually eliminated a lot of those performance problems by removing the facades off of the pretty pipes. So if you remember, I had stone bricks on all of these pipes right here. I thought it was going to look better, right? And we were going to put glass right here so that it would all be one like piece of floor, and the pipes would be semi-hidden, semi-shown within the glass. Well, I removed all of those because, you know, they had a little bit of, I'm going to say, lighting glitches. It's not really a glitch, but, right, if, oh, I don't have the pipe wrench on me. But if I were to put these back on here, you would actually definitely be able to see that this block was different than this block just due to the lighting. And I think the lighting may be what was causing the performance problems. So that's just a suggestion from me to you if you're using pipe facades and you're seeing some drops in your FPS or, you know, stuttering, lag, anything like that, maybe remove them. So with that being said, I may actually move these pipes underneath the floor because it's not that good looking without putting the facades on there. Okay, so I have cut a hole from over here. We're going to route this directly down. Our pipes, which I happen to have right here. Just like this, and we're gonna have to configure, right? We want the back to be our input, and so we're gonna let logs come in. And we're gonna have to deal with some priorities on these pipes, but oh, look at this, they're already coming because right, our machine itself had a surplus of logs. Here they come, and now once it fills up, they're gonna bounce back, and they should go all the way back to the chest where they came out of, and we'll just double check that. Here they come, going right back into that box. But I think we're going to want to put a filter down there to specify only the logs are allowed to go in there, right? We don't want sticks going in there. We don't want saplings going in there. I don't know if they can, but if they can, we want to prevent it. And so from here, we're going to want to output to the right. Maybe. Maybe we'll output the back as well. You know what? I think that's going to work. Okay, so I need to make quickly a storage drawer. We'll just check to see if we have one. Nope, not in there. And not in there. So let's make one real quick. And I've changed my mind again already. We're going to leave this be input, and we're going to say the right is output. So it should be able to stick the items directly over. And then we're going to put our dynamo right over here. And we're actually going to reuse the dynamo and the battery that we have upstairs now. So this system over here is going to cease to function, and we're going to have to move these machines. Now, these are connected with basic universal cables for mechanism. And there's, right, what, 3 of them right here? Okay, great. Plus 5 that are in this box. However, they take steel, and I don't think we can easily make steel. Right? We need coal, coke, dust, and iron, or we need to have a blast furnace going, and we don't have either of those set up. So these will be coming in our near future. Okay, so I think the dynamo will keep memory of its power. We shall be finding that out soon. The power cell from Powa should also... And you know, this is a thermal wrench. It won't work on there, will it? I don't believe I have anything for Powa. Yep, we're not ready to make that, that's for sure. So I'm just going to use a normal pickaxe on it. Hopefully we don't use our stored power. If we do lose it, it's fine, I guess. And I'm going to leave those there for just now. I have the other ones right here. So we're ready to hook things up. We're going to do things maybe upside down compared to how we had it before, where we're going to put the Stirling Dynamo like this, and it does appear to have retained a memory. Okay, and I want it to face upwards. We're going to put our energy cell on top, and it also... All right, every side. So this over here shows the sides. So kind of what we were looking at over here with the configuration. It's a little bit smaller, but we can see like, hey, the bottom, I could put it in just receive mode. Done. It's never going to try to like push power back out. So it's a little safer that way. I could switch everything to be extract and then set the bottom just to be receive. So this thing needs power. We're going to go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to need to make a drawer key. I don't think I have one of those yet, even though I have a bunch of drawers in places, because we're going to want to lock this, right? So that once this finishes... Oh, you know what? That is unfortunate. I really thought that the drawer would allow auto... Oh, actually, you know what? Auto output disabled. Okay, yeah, that worked. Now we're up to 13. I like to keep a couple of these on me to make torches with, so I'm going to do that. So this will just accept all of the logs, basically, that it can. However, we will want... We will want this pretty pipe right here to have an extraction module. Or actually, it's called a retrieval module, so that it can say, hey, always supply me with logs. And I really don't like the bouncing back and forth of this, but I don't know if there's a good way to stop that right now. I'll look into it a little bit. Okay, so over here... we need to pull these items out of here, throw them into the Stirling Dynamo. As we can already see, it's losing power, right? Because this thing is powering this over here. And this is actually out of fuel. So we will do that with pipes, of course. And I'm going to need to go grab a module to extract out. I do believe I have a cheap one over here that we can use. Here we go. We're going to use an extraction module on this one. Here we are. That's just a low, so it's only going to do one item at a time, but this dynamo isn't fast enough to consume them that fast, so that's actually going to be totally fine. And then over here, we're going to put a low retrieval module, and on that, well, clearly not cobblestone, right? We want to retrieve spruce logs. Done. Again, these are still going to keep bouncing back and forth for a little bit. So we're going to have to figure that system out a little better because I really don't like the bouncing. Maybe the thing that we do is we place another storage drawer or something to be used as a buffer here. Something that's got a large amount of space. However, now that I've placed the retrieval module, they seem to be coming in a lot slower. Maybe steady as in how many it actually needs. So maybe it won't be requesting too many. And this will eventually stop, right? Once this makes 32 stacks of charcoal, this thing won't be able to output anymore, so it will stop processing, which means that the logs will eventually back up stairs. So we've just automated a power system. It's a very basic power system, but it is automated. Alright, now it's time for something maybe a little more fun. I happened to find this black cat while I was out looking for that clockwork bee. This was at a witch hut. I don't know if black cats can only be found at witch huts, but here we go. Now has a name, Luna. A very precious little black cat. And, you know, I don't really like the red collar, so let's try giving it a black collar. Ah, yes. That looks way better. To continue on our theme of fun, I've moved our, again, right, this is a temporary thing until we get a better automated process set up, but I've moved this over here because I do use this quite a bit. And we've opened up a little hole right here up to our second floor. Our second floor that still doesn't have a roof, but we do have an opening. I had asked how I should get up and down between the floor, and there was one particular comment that really piqued my interest. That comment said, "You should make a dumbwaiter." So we're gonna attempt at least to make a cool dumbwaiter. So in order to do that, we are going to use a sticky mechanical piston, and we're gonna set this right here, not pointed this way though. See if I can rotate it. There we go. Pointed just like that. And it's sticky, right? So we're going to need something to go up and down. Well, this is holly up here, but this is stone brick down here. We might go with the holly, honestly. Go ahead and grab some holly real quick. This thing is going to be powered by a very similar contraption. We're just going to use encased fans. In fact, I want to use 2 of them. Also going to need 2 magma blocks. Just a little bit of a temporary dig out, because I'm going to need some space to work with. Something to this effect anyways. We're going to put our vertical gearbox there. Should be able to cover that hole back up, although... Apparently you can't click in between the block like that, like I thought you could. So, what do we know right now? We know that we need our shafts come in right here. But we should be able to connect both of our encased fans together in one network. And so we're going to work a little bit on setting that up maybe in the wall, actually, so it's not over here in our basement. Okay, so let's remember, we want to go large gear to a small gear in order to speed things up. So we're going to actually connect this off of here somehow. I think that this should work. I'm a little concerned here. So these gears are not touching, which is important because they would collide with each other. But they are touching this, and they should be spinning the right way. So, right, if we select, or not select, but if we set these in here, and then we put our magma blocks underneath, and then finally, we need 2 levers. And, you know, I think I'm going to set them maybe in the back here. Overstressed. Okay, that's fine. Because as soon as I do that, it is no longer overstressed. So here we go. We're now pushing this. Great. So we actually need something else here as well, don't we? We need something that will let us flip a lever, and when we flip the lever, it will engage or disengage a belt. Well, not a belt, but the rotation. So basically, we want it to reverse. I actually think it's the gear shift. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ponder real quick. Right, controlling rotational force with the gear shifts. Yep, and then as soon as the thing is powered, this flips direction. Yep, so we're gonna need one of these. And it's real easy to make, so we'll go up and make it real quick. Unfortunately, we're gonna need put this gear shift right there. So we're gonna have to move everything over by 1 block. Okay, so here we are again with the same setup, moved over 1 block so that we have a gear shift in the middle. Powered on, here we go. This is great. So we're gonna actually make 1 more lever, but that's not actually how we're gonna power this thing, because we're gonna need a control on the 1st floor and a control up on the 2nd floor. But just for demonstration purposes, this is how it should work. Oh, oh no, I forgot 1 more bit. I've got them on me. Okay, so we've got piston extension poles. These are important because the mechanical piston needs poles. Well, that's not how I wanted it. And unfortunately, I think this is going to be in the way. So this is what's going to happen. When you flip the lever, it's going to push up. And we can see it didn't go high enough. So that tells us that We need to move some things. Right? It only went up 2 blocks. We need it to go up 2 more blocks. So our options here are we can move all of this somehow, or we can move just this bit. All right, so we're gonna move this bit, and I'm pretty sure I've got a good way to do it. Right, we're gonna just detach all of that. I don't think we really needed any of it, because we're gonna come over here. We're gonna connect to this. In fact, I'm gonna put that there right now, just like so. Yep. This is how it's gonna work. Magma block goes here. Paste fan goes there. And the lever goes here. Here we are. So this should work again. Yep. We're gonna go ahead and just put our 2 extra poles on, which should be enough. So let's actually test it from upstairs. Here we are. There's the lever. Click. Oh, there we go. Okay. And up. So here's where our problem is, right? We're going to need a lever up here to tell it to go back down. And we might utilize the same thing that we have going on out here. We might utilize wireless redstone. So those redstone links right here. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it, of course, would be to run redstone somehow from a switch up there down through. And I found this mod called Redstone Pen, which it lets you draw thin redstone tracks. We could maybe use this. I don't actually have any idea how this works, so this might be simple enough to try. So I might give that a go real quick. And I sort of just had this idea. What if we... Yeah, I think this is going to work. What if we do something like this to encase it in, right? This is a dumbwaiter, right? It's supposed to be encased. And I would need to be able to put something up here as well. But we could do this, right, on all sides. And I guess I need some for the back, and not like that at all. Yeah, like something like this. Right, it's not the fastest system. I mean, this is probably just faster, but it's not as cool, right? The dumb waiter is real cool. And I think maybe we would do the same thing up here with those trapdoors. I haven't fully decided yet. And we could really just replace these 2 slabs, or maybe these 3 slabs, with a full plank, and then I don't think it would look so odd. Yeah, that actually looks pretty decent. Okay, I've redesigned this again, just slightly, right? So I moved the encased fans. They were here and here. I moved them back. I moved everything up 1, and this allowed me to get 1 more section in. So remember, every time we go from a big gear to a small gear, we have increased in speed. So before, we were going big gear to small gear, big gear to small gear. Now we've also introduced this big to small section, so we've increased the speed again. Let's just take one more look at how fast this goes now, because I think this is actually a pretty good speed. Right? It's just a bit faster than it was before. And it's really, I mean, speed-wise, it's not that much slower than that at all, and it's definitely faster than the going down this. It's not as fast as jumping, of course, but... See? Look at that. Now then, I do believe that we have hit the wrapping up point for this episode. So, in between episodes, I think I'm going to play around with the wireless redstone a bit so I can get a button system set up for calling the elevator up and down the floors. And then I think what we're going to prepare for in the next episode is looking into the sequential assembly line, because I think we need that in order to make, let's take a look real quick at coke bricks. Yeah, so if we want to make these coke bricks, and we'll need to be able to make the coke bricks to get coal coke if we want to be able to get to the blast smelter, which will let us make the steel. So we're going to have to make a system that can process all sorts of things together. And, you know, we might make a dedicated sequenced assembly for each different kind of craft, or we might try to reuse one for multiple crafts. I haven't fully decided yet. I've never played around with a sequential assembly just yet, so it'll be new uncharted territory. And looks like even to get there, we're going to have to set up some mixing. It looks like it's going to be a process. So we might be making a small factory sort of system in the next episode. So don't forget to comment on whether or not you liked that time lapse, because if you did, I'll set up some more farms and stuff between episodes and show it as a time lapse. But this is Merc Serene, signing off.